were driving down the highway, the tears started falling. It was that moment of counting the days down till we were about to drop our baby girl off at college. And as our children have left the home one by one by one, we have gone from 6 children down to we're about to have only 2 left. It just dawned on us, like the years of thinking back, of remembering like the sweet moments of raising our children, going to the pool and the beach, going to theme parks, and just having play dates with friends, the middle school years, the high school years, the school musicals, the choir concerts. And it was just like, how did 18 years go by that fast? And I know for me and for Scott, both of our hearts were just like, we were mourning, we were grieving, already like missing the time with our baby girl. And then at the same time, I'm sure for some of you, if your kid's about to go off to college and you're thinking, did I do enough? Are they ready? I'm gonna miss them. There might be a lot of you out there who is kind of dreading it just being you and your husband, or you and your wife. For a lot of married Christians, it's death by 1,000 paper cuts in their marriage, because it's been years of maybe you guys not being honest, maybe years of putting the children first before your marriage. And while we want our children to thrive and we want them to have everything that we might not have had, or even better than what we had, what I want to encourage you guys and remind you of is that the vine needs to be strong, and because then the fruit of the vine can flourish and grow. But if the vine itself is shaky, if the whole family has revolved around the children and the marriage has been on the back burner, it could be death by 1,000 paper cuts, where for years maybe you haven't been honest with each other, for years you haven't poured into each other, you haven't spent time connecting, building emotional intimacy, closeness, connection. Maybe your love life has just been on the back burner, or maybe just spiritually you feel distant because you've just gotten into a routine. And if there's been years and years where you haven't been honest, you haven't shared your heart, you have let the little things build up and you haven't cleared them out, maybe you're in a bad mood and you don't even know why. Maybe for some of you, you're dreading the empty nest years because you don't even get along well with your spouse. For those of you who are out there and you're committed to your marriage, but you sense it's just not what it should be, you don't want to live the rest of your life like this, and you certainly don't want to get divorced, I want you to know, talking about your problems and feelings is the worst way to solve your marriage challenges. It's the worst way. And what Scott and I have figured out after years, almost 30 years of marriage and a decade of being disconnected, and then doing everything we could to save our marriage, and not just save the old marriage, but really build something beautiful and new together. What we have learned is that it takes a shift in who you're being, it takes a shift in how you're thinking, it takes a shift in how you're feeling, and it takes a skill set of being able to express yourself differently. And so if any of this is resonating with you, and you're maybe coming up on school starting back, or your kid going off to college or off to the military, what can we do for our marriage? Like, is it going to be you and me, like, staring at our phones for the rest of our lives? If that's you, send me a DM and comment below and just say, hey, that's me. I'd love to chat. Because what I'm here to tell you is that you can build something beautiful and new again in your marriage. You don't have to stay stuck where it's just boring, where there's no adventure, where there's no romance, where there's no connection, where there's no laughter. You can get back to that. It's probably going to take some work, some investment. It's going to take some time, because the thing is that if you have for years been neglecting your marriage, it will take time. But what we have figured out is it doesn't have to take years. It actually only takes a few weeks when you are intentional, and when you've got a strategy and a roadmap, and you've got mentors who can hold you accountable and cheer you on and pray for you. We've got to bring God back to the center of our marriage. We've got to be able to think about our spouse and our situation differently. We got to learn to shift out of that resentful place where you haven't been honest, and learn to pull those roots of bitterness out so that peace and joy and connection can grow again. So if any of this is resonating, as I said, comment, let me know what's going on in your marriage, and send me a DM. I'd love to chat and see how we can